Imagine that each thought that passes through your head is a leaf floating downstream. Some of these leaves are colorful and light, representing moments of joy and gratitude. Others are darker and heavier, carrying our worries, fears, and doubts. Now think about if you decided to jump into that river and grab each of those leaves, trying to hold them tightly, without letting any slip away. Sounds tiring, doesn't it? And what if I told you that most of our emotional fatigue comes precisely from this? Trying to tightly hold on to every thought that passes, especially those that pull us down. Here's something that perhaps no one has told you before. You are not obligated to listen to everything your mind says. I know this may sound strange initially. After all, we are taught from an early age that we should always be attentive to our thoughts, as if they were the absolute compass of our reality. But what if I told you that there is a way to live a happier, fuller, and more meaningful life, simply by learning not to pay so much attention to our automatic and often negative thoughts? Start imagining your mind as an old radio, one of those that sometimes picks up a clear frequency, but other times only transmits noise and static. The secret is not in trying to fix the radio or control the airwaves. It is in learning to adjust the dial, tuning into the frequencies that bring songs you really like, or better yet, the thoughts that bring peace and joy. Very curious now, right? How do we do that? Well, this is just the beginning of our journey. Throughout this journey, we will explore together some simple but profoundly transformative strategies that will help us create a healthier relationship with our thoughts. We will learn to observe them without judgment, to detach from those that do not serve our well-being, and most importantly, to live more in the present, appreciating each moment of life for its own essence, free from the shackles of a mind that doesn't stop chattering. Let's dive now into the universe of recognition and detachment. Imagine yourself walking along a trail in the forest, surrounded by the beauty of nature, the singing of birds, and the murmuring of leaves in the wind. On this walk, you notice that some thorns latch onto your clothing. You could get frustrated with each thorn, questioning why they exist or why they latched onto you specifically. But there is another option: to recognize the thorns, be grateful for them, showing that you are truly walking and living, and then gently release them and move on. That's how our negative thoughts are. They are like thorns that, from time to time, latch onto us during our journey. Recognition comes when we understand that these thoughts exist, but they do not define who we are. They are just thorns on the trail, not the trail itself. Now, about detachment, it resembles the act of releasing those thorns. It's not ignoring them or pretending they are not there, but rather recognizing their presence, and then choosing not to allow them to prevent us from moving forward. Detachment is the understanding that, although we cannot control every thought that arises in our mind, we can decide which thoughts will influence our emotions and actions. How do we begin this process? First, by creating the habit of observing our thoughts without judgment. This may seem simple, but do not be deceived, it is a powerful practice. When we observe our thoughts, we begin to notice patterns, recognizing those that serve us and those that pull us down. Imagine yourself as an observer by a river, watching thoughts pass by like leaves in the current. You don't need to jump into the water and catch every leaf. You can simply observe their passage. This river metaphor teaches us to see our thoughts from a more detached perspective, learning not to cling to them. Incorporating small daily practices such as moments of silence, meditation, or even a mindful walk can help us develop this sense of observation and detachment. These practices become the tools that help us adjust the dial of our mental radio, choosing to tune into the frequencies that uplift us instead of those that bring us down. By learning to recognize and detach from thoughts that do not contribute to our well-being, we make room for a lighter and happier life, allowing us to walk the trail of life with less weight and more freedom. Moving forward on our journey, we arrive at the heart of a happier life, living in the present. Imagine that life is a big party, with different rooms representing the past, present, and future. Many people spend the entire party worried about what happened in previous rooms, or anxious about the next ones, without noticing the music and dancing happening now, right in the room they are in. Living in the present is choosing to enter that room of now and truly feel the music. But how do we do that? The first step is to bring our attention to the present moment, realizing that most of the time the present is a safe and peaceful place to be. Our minds, however, are masters at taking us on trips through the past full of what-ifs and a future full of what-whens. Recognizing this habit of the mind is crucial. Only then can we gently guide our attention back to the now. A simple but effective method for anchoring yourself in the present is to pay attention to your breath. Breathing is a natural anchor that is always with us, regardless of what is happening around us. By focusing on our breath, we are practicing the art of being present. There's no need to do anything special. Just observe the air coming in and out and allow that awareness to bring you back to the now. In addition to breathing, gratitude is another powerful tool to bring us into the present moment. By focusing on what we have now, instead of fixating on what is lacking or what we want for the future, we begin to see the beauty and abundance that are already present in our lives. This can be as simple as being grateful for the food in front of us, for the health we have, or even for the ability to breathe and walk. Creating a routine that values the present is also vital. This can include daily moments dedicated to meditation, reading, or even contemplating nature. The important thing is to find activities that make you feel alive and connected to the now, allowing yourself to fully absorb the experience without the rush to do more or the concern for the next step. By allowing ourselves to live more in the present, we discover the key to a life of greater peace and happiness. The beauty of the now is that it is always here, waiting to be lived and appreciated. So why not take a pause, breathe deeply, and dance with the music that is playing now? This is the invitation of the present, an invitation to fully live the only life we have, in the only moment that really exists, the now. Delving further into our journey, we arrive at a fundamental pillar for a more serene and fulfilling existence. Acceptance. Imagine yourself as a river. Along its course, the river encounters various obstacles, be it rocks, tight bends, or waterfalls. However, instead of fighting against these obstacles, the river simply accepts them and flows around them, continuing on its way. Similarly, in our lives, acceptance allows us to flow more easily, even in the face of challenges. Accepting impermanence is accepting that everything in life is constantly changing. Nothing is static. Seasons change, relationships evolve, and we ourselves transform. By resisting this impermanence, we create suffering for ourselves, clinging to the idea of how things should be, rather than how they actually are. But by embracing impermanence, we open space for resilience and the ability to appreciate each moment, knowing that it is unique and fleeting. Accepting emotions, even those considered negative, is another crucial aspect of acceptance. We are often taught to repress emotions such as sadness, anger, or fear, seeing them as something to be avoided. However, these emotions are part of the human spectrum and have much to teach us. Instead of repressing them, we can learn to welcome them, exploring what they have to say about us and our needs. Emotional acceptance does not mean resignation, but rather allowing ourselves to fully feel in order to then understand and eventually let go. Self-acceptance is perhaps the most complex and at the same time, the most liberating challenge. We live in a world that constantly compares us to unattainable standards of perfection. Self-acceptance begins with the understanding that we are in a constant process of growth and that our mistakes and failures are as important to that process as our successes. It is recognizing our own humanity with kindness and compassion, knowing that each one of us is a work in progress. Acceptance is not a passive surrender to circumstances, but an active choice to recognize and embrace reality as it is, while working to grow from it. This act of acceptance frees us from the chains of should and opens us to the richness of is. When we accept, we align ourselves with the flow of life, discovering a deeper peace and happiness that does not depend on external conditions but on our ability to live with authenticity and grace. As our journey progresses, we delve into the essence of relationships and authentic connection with others. Imagine a garden filled with different types of flowers. Each flower, with its unique color, shape, and aroma, contributes to the beauty and harmony of the garden. In the same way, each person in our life brings their uniqueness, enriching our existence with various forms of love, friendship, and learning. Relationships are the fertile soil where we can sow understanding, affection, and mutual growth. However, for this garden to flourish, it is essential that we cultivate connections that are true and genuine. This means seeking and nurturing relationships where we can be ourselves, without masks or pretenses, and where we accept the other as they are, with all their colors and nuances. The key to authentic connections lies in conscious and empathetic communication. Communicating consciously means listening not only with our ears but with our hearts, being fully present for the person we are interacting with. Empathy, in turn, is the ability to put ourselves in the other person's shoes, understanding their feelings and perspectives, even if different from our own. Together, conscious communication and empathy create solid bridges between hearts, allowing us to understand and support each other more deeply. Another important aspect is recognizing and valuing relationships that bring growth. This does not mean only being around those who make us feel good, but also valuing those who, through challenges and differences, encourage us to evolve. It is in moments of disagreement that we learn to respect differences and expand our worldview, promoting growth that is both personal and collective. It is also essential to remember that relationships, like everything in life, are impermanent and constantly transforming. Accepting this impermanence helps us appreciate even more each shared moment, each laugh, each tear, and to let go with gratitude when the time comes to follow different paths. This conscious detachment does not diminish the value of the connection lived, but rather enhances it, transforming it into a treasure of learnings and precious memories. As we continue our journey through life, may we be like attentive and loving gardeners, caring for our relationships with the same dedication with which we would care for a garden. May our connections be bridges of understanding and love, where each encounter is an opportunity to grow, learn, and flourish together. Continuing our journey of discovery and growth, we encounter the fascinating concept of continuous learning. Imagine life as a great school, where every day is a new class, and every experience, good or bad, brings with it a valuable lesson. In this school, there are no final grades, only the infinite opportunity to learn, evolve, and expand our horizons. Continuous learning is the recognition that no matter our age or stage in life, there is always something new to discover about ourselves, about others, and about the world around us. This openness to new experiences and knowledge is what keeps our journey vibrant and meaningful. To fully embrace continuous learning, we need to cultivate curiosity and open-mindedness. This means looking beyond the beliefs and perceptions we already have, being willing to question and explore new ideas and perspectives. Imagine yourself as an explorer in an unknown land, where each step reveals new mysteries and wonders. This explorer mindset allows us to see the familiar with new eyes and find beauty and learning in the simplest of things. Continuous learning also involves finding lessons in all aspects of life. Whether in a conversation with a friend, an inspiring book, a trip to an unknown place, or even a moment of difficulty, there is always an opportunity to learn. Each person we meet and each situation we experience has something to teach us if we are open to receiving those lessons. Furthermore, continuous learning encourages us to maintain humility, recognizing that no matter how much we know, there will always be something we do not know. This humility before the vast universe of knowledge impels us to keep seeking, questioning, and growing. Maintaining curiosity and our willingness to learn not only enriches our life with new skills and knowledge, but also helps us keep our minds agile and our spirits young. After all, learning is an endless adventure, a constant source of joy and renewal. As we continue on our journey, may we value every opportunity for learning that life offers us, recognizing that each new day is a chance to become wiser and more compassionate versions of ourselves. As our journey progresses, we reflect on a mysterious and deeply personal territory: the development of intuition. Imagine that within each of us resides an inner sage, an intuitive compass that, when listened to, guides us through the fogs of uncertainty and helps us make decisions aligned with our true self. This sage speaks a subtle language, often muffled by the noise of the rational mind and the demands of the external world. But learning to tune into this inner voice is a skill we can cultivate, an art that connects us more deeply to our innate wisdom. Strengthening intuition is, in essence, learning to trust oneself. It is recognizing that, beyond all the information and advice we receive from the outside, there is a valuable inner knowledge that deserves to be considered. Developing this confidence requires practice and patience, beginning with moments of silence and reflection, where we allow our inner voice to be heard. One of the most effective ways to increase intuitive sensitivity is through meditation. By quieting the mind, we diminish the constant hum of thoughts and worries, creating space for intuition to arise. It can be as simple as dedicating a few minutes each day to sitting in silence, breathing deeply, and allowing any insights or sensations to arise naturally. Learning to differentiate the voice of intuition from mental noise is a crucial aspect of this process. The mind often speaks in an urgent tone, fueled by fears and desires. Intuition, on the other hand, has a more subtle, serene, and profound quality, often bringing a sense of clarity and calm, even in the face of difficult decisions. Paying attention to how you feel after listening to that inner voice can be an important indicator of its intuitive origin. Trusting intuition also means accepting that sometimes the answers we seek may not be immediately clear. Intuition can lead us down unexpected paths, whose meaning is only revealed over time. This unfolding process, while it may be disconcerting, is also where its magic and transformative potential reside. By cultivating a more intimate relationship with our intuition, we discover a powerful tool for navigating life with more authenticity and purpose. This wise inner voice, once recognized and valued, becomes an invaluable ally in the pursuit of well-being and personal fulfillment. Delving further into the realm of physical and mental health, we arrive at an essential understanding. Our overall well-being is a mosaic, where each piece, whether our physical, emotional, or spiritual health, fits uniquely, contributing to the beauty and integrity of the overall picture. Imagine your being as a flourishing garden. For it to remain vibrant and healthy, we need not only to water the plants, but also to care for the soil, ensure an adequate amount of sunlight, and protect against pests. Similarly, our physical and mental health are deeply interconnected, requiring continuous attention and care. Taking care of physical health is undoubtedly one of the most tangible ways of loving and respecting ourselves. This includes nourishing our bodies with nutrients that energize and strengthen us, as well as keeping active through exercises that resonate with our joy and sense of pleasure. It's not about following the latest fad diet or exercising to the point of exhaustion, but about listening to our body's needs and responding in a way that promotes vitality and well-being. Alongside this, mental health requires that we nourish our minds with positive thoughts, mindfulness practices, and activities that fulfill and inspire us. Caring for the mind is like weaving a web of support that sustains us during challenging times, allowing us to face life's storms with resilience and strength. It includes everything from formal meditation practices to simple moments of connection with nature, or deep dives into hobbies and passions that ignite the flame of our spirit. The intersection between physical and mental health can be seen in practices of relaxation and stress management, essential for a balanced life. Techniques such as yoga, guided meditation, or even art and music can serve as bridges between the physical and mental, offering refuges of peace and serenity amidst the daily chaos. They teach us to release bodily tensions and calm the mind, bringing a sense of inner harmony and unity. Recognizing and valuing the interconnection between our physical and mental health is a fundamental step on the journey to a happier and more fulfilling life. By caring for each aspect of our being, we cultivate a rich and diverse inner garden, capable of flourishing even in the most adverse conditions. Navigating even deeper into our journey, we arrive at the luminous realm of creativity and expression. Imagine yourself as a painter standing before a blank canvas. Your heart is the brush and your soul the palette of infinite colors. Each stroke, each blending of colors, is a part of your unique story being told. Creativity is that vital force within us that seeks to express itself, to turn dreams into reality, and to give voice to our deepest feelings. Using creativity as a form of expression is opening the doors to our inner world, allowing our emotions, thoughts, and visions to come alive through various art forms. Whether writing a poem, painting a picture, playing a melody, dancing to the rhythm of music that resonates with our current energy, or molding clay with our hands, each creative act is a window into our essence. Encouraging authentic expression in all areas of life is recognizing that each of us has something valuable to contribute to the world. It's not about seeking perfection or external approval, but about honoring our truth and sharing it with an open heart. When we express our authenticity, we create deeper connections with those around us, inspiring them to also open up and share their own truths. The role of art and creativity in emotional healing is immense. Through creative expression, we can process and release repressed emotions, find relief from pain, and even transform traumatic experiences into sources of strength and inspiration. Art offers a safe space to explore our fears, joys, sorrows, and hopes, promoting a healing process that goes beyond the intellect and touches the heart. Developing a hobby or passion that brings us joy is essential to keeping the flame of creativity alive. When we dedicate time to activities that fulfill us, we strengthen our connection to joy and well-being. These practices become sanctuaries, sacred places where we can recharge our energies and remember what truly matters. As we continue to walk the path of life, may we embrace creativity and expression as inseparable companions. May the courage to express our true essence shine bright, illuminating not only our own path, but also that of others who may find themselves in the shadows, waiting for a ray of light to guide them. We now come to the point in the journey where we explore contribution and purpose, essential elements that connect us not only to ourselves, but to the world around us. Imagine that life is a vast tapestry, woven with the threads of our actions, choices, and intentions. Each of us contributes to the beauty and complexity of this collective work of art with the colorful threads of our unique existence. Finding purpose in our daily actions is like discovering that each small gesture, each kind word, each shared smile has the power to alter the pattern of the great tapestry of life. Our contributions, no matter how modest they may seem, have a significant impact on the social, environmental, and spiritual fabric of our global community. It is in the pursuit and realization of small acts of kindness and service that we often find our deepest purpose. Contributing to the collective well-being is a source of profound and lasting satisfaction. When we act with the intention of serving others, of improving the lives around us, we move beyond our small selves and touch the essence of what it means to be truly human. This contribution can take many forms, from volunteering to creating projects aimed at solving community problems, or simply being present for someone in need. Recognizing the impact of small actions is understanding that we don't need to do grandiose things to leave our mark on the world. True greatness lies in the authenticity and love we put into each action. Just as a single drop of water creates ripples that extend across the entire lake, our actions, no matter how small, generate waves of change that go far beyond what we can imagine. Aligning personal actions with higher values is what gives meaning and direction to our existence. When our actions reflect our deepest values, we live with integrity and authenticity, bringing light not only to our own lives, but to the lives of those around us. This alignment creates an internal compass that guides us through the storms of life, keeping us steadfast on our path and purpose. As we continue to weave the tapestry of our lives, may we do so with the awareness that each thread we add is essential to the final design. May our search for purpose lead us to contribute in ways that enrich not only our lives, but the entire world. From recognizing and detaching from thoughts that do not serve us, to cultivating presence in the present moment, through acceptance, building authentic connections, continuous learning, developing intuition, caring for our physical and mental health, expressing our unique creativity, and ultimately reaching contribution and purpose in our actions. Each step of this journey has been an invitation to know ourselves more deeply and to live a life aligned with our true essence. Recalling our initial metaphor, imagining the mind as a radio that we can tune according to our choice, we have learned to adjust our focus to frequencies that amplify our joy, peace, and well-being. We've discovered that instead of trying to control every wave of thought or emotion that arises, we can choose which ones deserve our attention and energy, allowing ourselves to flow more freely with life, like a river navigating obstacles along its path. We also acknowledge that each person and every experience in our lives are like teachers, bringing valuable lessons for our growth. We've learned to value impermanence, to accept our emotions, and to see ourselves as works in progress, always evolving. We understand the importance of genuine connection with others and with ourselves, expressing our truth and creativity without fear. We realize that our greatest contribution to the world comes from living according to our deepest values, finding purpose even in the smallest actions. True happiness and fulfillment arise not from achieving a perfect state of being, but from walking with awareness, openness, and compassion in every moment of our journey. I hope this message has been helpful to you. Don't forget to like and share this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.